I am excited about what's going on around here. It snowed today. And it's supposed to be bad all week. So I am inside the house, but I'm shooting the videos and excited about what's going on. So be sure to watch our podcast this week. We've got some good stuff that we're putting together. I'm gonna put some of the pictures of the boys out playing in the snow, and that's it. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to the I Feel God podcast. This is Bishop James, I Feel God Brown, and here we talk about ministry, business, and basically anything on my mind. We hope you'll stick around and enjoy it. Hey, this is Bishop Brown again. Welcome to the I Feel God Vcast. I hope you're enjoying our Vcast. We talk about a lot of different things each week. Now, this week's focus is on understanding Bitcoin and using WordPress. Do you use WordPress? The great thing about Vcasts are that each and every week is a new start. So let's get started. So today in our Bible notes section, we want to talk about a scripture from 2 Peter, the 1st chapter, and the 10th and the 11th verse. Now I'm going to read this out of the Message, but I want you to listen to it. It says, "So friends, confirm God's invitation to you, his choice of you. Don't put it off. Do it now." I love that. Do this, and you'll have your life on a firm footing. The streets paved and the way wide open into the eternal kingdom of the Master and Savior, Jesus Christ. It's so important that when God calls you and selects you, and many are called but few are chosen, and chooses you, that you listen to the invitation, that you heed the invitation, that you move on the invitation. Now, that doesn't mean you become a preacher overnight. That doesn't mean that you have to start carrying your Bible everywhere you go. But it does mean that God's hand is on your life. And your life will be better if you allow him to lead and you follow, rather than you lead hoping that he will follow. That's today's Bible note. Free access to GrooveFunnels. GrooveFunnels is the best way to build better funnels. You know, sales funnels are proven to be effective. That's just a fact. Funnel building and funnel building tools could fairly command high monthly fees, and many times they do command high monthly fees. Unfortunately, for most of us, that would be out of the reach. You know, just having a high-priced funnel builder is beyond the reach of most of us. And the fact is that we still need it. We're on a budget, but we need the tools, especially during 2021 and 2020. That's where GrooveFunnels comes in. GrooveFunnels is the new, better way to build funnels and sell digital products online. We use it. Christian Stimulus uses it, and we highly recommend it. We even switched from ClickFunnels, which was our old go-to standby high-priced funnel builder. But I'm not denigrating it. It served us well, and we liked it. But we think that GrooveFunnels gives us the better options. Listen, go check it out. It's at ifggo.pro. That's what we say all the time. ifggo.pro/groove. GROOVE. That's https://ifggo.pro/groove. It's groovy. In our business notes section, I want to talk about Bitcoin. Understanding Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Well, simply, Bitcoin is money. Well, it's a type of money, but it's completely virtual. Each Bitcoin is basically a computer file, which is stored in a digital wallet app on a smartphone or on a computer. People can send Bitcoin or part of one, and that's what mostly you get is a portion of a Bitcoin, to your digital wallet. And you can send Bitcoins to other people. Every single transaction is recorded in a public list called a blockchain. So when you hear them talk about blockchain, that's what they're talking about. It's the recorded transaction from Bitcoin or other blockchain type platforms. This makes it possible to trace the history of Bitcoins to stop people from spending coins they do not own, making copies or undoing transactions. That's all a part of that blockchain. There are three main ways. Let me start that. There are three main ways that you can get Bitcoin. Number one, you can buy Bitcoins using real money. Number two, you can sell things and let people pay with Bitcoin. And you're seeing that more and more. There's a pizza restaurant that allows you to pay with Bitcoin now. And they even have Bitcoin teller machines that you can use. The final way that you can get Bitcoins is that they can be created using a computer. The problem with that, though, is that because the computation is so intensive, you may well spend more money creating the Bitcoin than the value of the Bitcoin you're able to create, because it's done with a cipher, what's called a cipher. So if you want to know more about Bitcoin, go to https:// now here you go, ifggo.pro/AUD. That's ifggo.pro/AUD. Also, in our business notes section, did you know that Etsy has a lot of black-owned businesses? And I've got an article up that shows 13 black-owned Etsy, E-T-S-Y, Etsy. It's a place where people sell things that are homemade. And so we've got 13 black Etsy businesses. Now, Etsy is full of black-owned shops, to be truthful with you, with passionate artisans who are creating homemade dolls, jewelry, art, and so much more. Go to Etsy and check it out. But I want to show you that there are several that are black-owned that you need to pay attention to. I think you'll love what they're offering. Whether you're looking for the perfect birthday gift, the perfect Valentine's gift, a housewarming gift, or something to cheer up somebody, these shops are full of the good stuff. So you want to go check them out. You can shop your favorites right here. Go to ifggo.pro/7AD. That's ifggo.pro/7AD. And that information will be in the show notes at the end of the show. Let's talk about STEM and your child. Science, technology, engineering, and math. You've heard those words. We've all heard those buzzwords, but that doesn't help us to know how to help our children, and in my case, grandchildren, to get involved. Who knows what it will cost and when it should start, when I should start. All of those are questions that people have about STEM, other than what they know is being taught in the schools. Well, I think we can help you. And I think we can get to most of those questions. It all starts with an ultra affordable Raspberry Pi chip. Now, if you've not heard of Raspberry Pi, it is a nice little chip, a full computer in a chip that costs less than $100, okay? And that brings the great project kit along with it. And so if you can get the projects and work the projects, your grandchildren, your children, and this is what I use with ours, can start to learn programming, they can start to learn robotics, they can start to do all of those things with the Raspberry Pi. So get the kit. If you don't know what to do and you need some help, get the kit. First get the kit, because if you don't have the kit, it's hard for me to help you. But once you get the kit, why don't you get in touch with me and let's talk. All you have to do is get the kit. Where to get the kit? Well, it's ifggo.pro/pi kit, pi kit, ifggo.pro/pi kit. Then, when you're ready to talk to me, it's ifggo.pro, let's talk. And when you go there, you can schedule a time, and I set aside times to talk with people, and you can schedule your meeting with me, and I can get you started along the road to get your child involved in improving on STEM, because they're going to need it. All right. In today's Tech Notes section, I want to talk about sending an email with a drop dead date. Have you ever wanted to do that? Send an email. If they haven't responded to it or read it by a certain date, it just goes away and you never hear about it again. Well, if you use Gmail, there's a way to do it. It's called sending confidentially. And when you send a confidential email in Gmail, you can set it to expire at a certain date. And that's all required, is to set it as a confidential email. Now, when all that's required is what you do is you compose the email the way you regularly do. Then you select confidential from the toolbar at the bottom of the app. Now, we've created a video for you on our YouTube channel that's entitled How to Send a Drop Dead Email. So go check that out. But all that's required is you compose the email and the way you regularly do, and then select confidential from the toolbar at the bottom of the Gmail app. Then select the date you want the email to disappear after you send it, and after you send the email, it will disappear after that drop dead date. Now, here's something else you can do. You can go into the confidential emails that you've sent, and you can cause them to drop dead sooner. If you've already dealt with the business and now you want to make sure that this confidential information goes away forever, you can move up the date that it will be destroyed. Now, you may be saying, what good is all of that? Well, sometimes when you send an email, the information inside is valid only for a certain amount of time. And it might be, as the term says, confidential. It could be something you don't want to accidentally fall into somebody else's hands. So, if the person hasn't reacted or acted on the email by the time and date that you specify, you can want that to die, disappear, drop dead. And that's because you don't want it to see the light of day. So that's all it is to it. And if we've created a video that shows these steps, go to the Christian Stimulus YouTube page and you can find it there. All right? God bless you. Every chance we get, we like to stop and take a minute to explain our mission. We want you to know what we do as Christian Stimulus and myself, James, I Feel God Brown. What do we do? Well, we develop websites, video channel, email assets, ministry and business training, and we teach side gigs on how to do different things to help ministers, and Christian business people be more effective. That's our mission statement, and that's what we do. Come along with us. We'll do you good. In our church and ministry notes section today, want to talk about two different preachers, one who went home to be with the Lord and one who is fighting sickness and illness. The first, Apostle Dr. Fred Casey Price. If you've been watching Christian TV for any amount of time, you saw Apostle Price, who was the founder of the Crenshaw Christian Center in Los Angeles. Well, he passed away on Friday, February 12th, after an attack of COVID-19. Funeral and memorial services for Dr. Price are still pending, and this is as of Sunday. So he was, as I said, he was the founder. He was a leader in the Word of Faith movement. If you are active in the Word of Faith movement, though, Dr. Price was somebody. Also, he produced a video series, and if your children have never seen Race, Religion, and Racism, if they're older and they want to know the truth about the church and about racism in the church and the truth of Christ to overcome it, they need to hear Dr. Price, Race, Religion, and Racism. I think it's on YouTube. If not, contact Crenshaw, and I'm sure that they still have DVDs of that presentation. It was awesome. Okay. Second thing is Pastor Evangelist Vadi Bakum. Vadi Bakum. Now, you may not be familiar with him, but he's also been on television. He actually now ministers in South Africa most of the time. He's an American, a black American pastor who ministers in South Africa, but really he ministers all over the world. And but he's facing a health challenge, and he's on his way trying to get back to the States from Joburg, South Africa, and he has a heart condition, and his family are requesting prayer. Now, there's been a GoFundMe page set up for him and his medical expenses. If you decide that you want, and I'm not putting any pressure on you, if you decide you want to help him out, you can go to GoFundMe.com/F/Vadi, that's spelled VODDIE, Baucham, Baucham, BAUCHAM. Now that link will be in our show notes, but I'm going to say it one more time. GoFundMe.com/F/Vadi, VODDIE Baucham, BAUCHAM. Thank you. In our tech notes section, did you know that WordPress has over a 40% market share in the top 10 million websites? Over 40% of the top 10 million. It's past that number on all websites. That's up from 35.4% in January 2020, in just 1 year. And that's been measured by W3 Techs. Now, by their estimates, every 2 minutes, another 10 million sites start using WordPress. That's just an awesome number. Among the top 1,000 sites, WordPress market share is even higher at 51.8%. In other words, of the top 1,000 sites on the internet, more than 50% of them are run by WordPress, and it captures a staggering 66.2 for new sites. In tracking the growth rate over the past 10 years, W3 Techs shows WordPress sloping steadily upwards. That's just a fact. What does this mean, though, for you and for me? Well, this means that if you want your business or your church to have a website that is going to offer the best security, you need self-hosted WordPress. Now, what do you mean by self-hosted? Well, there's a difference between self-hosted WordPress and WordPress.com. We're not talking really about WordPress.com here. We're talking about WordPress where you own and you actually have paid for hosting on the internet, and then you place the WordPress program on your hosting platform. Now, that's different than WordPress.com, where that WordPress software that you would install is already running for the general public. That's more restrictive. It's just not the same. So you want to get, for your business, for your ministry, self-hosted WordPress, because that's going to give you the best security. If you want a website that has millions of users that test it again and again, you need self-hosted WordPress. Now, if you don't know how to use WordPress, if you don't know how to get started, let's talk. What do you mean by that? Go to ifggo.pro/let's talk. One word, LETSTALK. ifggo.pro/let's talk. And again, that link will be in our show notes. Did you know that you can get a self-hosted, professionally managed WordPress site for just $23 a year? $23 a year, completely hosted, completely managed. Your backups are taken care of. All of that. Did you know that it's just $23 a year? Well, you can get this, the fastest web hosting, anywhere, and they even install WordPress for you. All you have to do is add your theme and content. Now remember, WordPress themes, there are hundreds of thousands of them that are absolutely free. But your content, what your church wants to say, your mission statement, all of that, what your business sells, the pictures of your products, now you have to provide that. But the actual platform that you would use, all of that is installed for you and managed for you when you use managed WordPress. Okay. Now, this is a great solution for small businesses and for small churches. Did you know that most of the internet uses self-hosted WordPress already? That's just a fact. I talked about that in another broadcast that we did some time ago. I moved all our sites, and we host sites, we help people with sites, we flip sites, all of that. I moved all our sites to Namecheap, and they're now our business partners. I trust them, and their customer service is off the chain good. That's just the truth. Check out EasyWP. That's what it's called, EasyWP from Namecheap. Go to ifggo.pro/EasyWP. That's EASYWP. ifggo.pro/EasyWP. With the new book, We Wear Kicks to Work, Black educators create a leadership development program centered around pop culture. So today in our current events notes, I wanted to talk about it. Trill or Not Trill, the nation's top culturally responsive leadership institute, launched the book, We Wear Kicks to Work, and it did it back in October of 2020. Now, this book merges theory, practice, and real-life stories within the world of higher education, leadership, and beyond. We Wear Kicks to Work redefines modern education and business tactics through pop culture analysis, case studies, and the creation of thoughtful, integrated solutions that appropriately reflect the current societal, societal, let's use that word, landscape. Okay? So you can get your copies. They're available on Amazon. It's ifggo.pro/We Wear Kicks. We Wear Kicks. In our Life Notes section, Deborah Archer becomes the first Black woman to lead the ACLU in their 100-year history. Deborah Archer, a civil rights attorney and professor at New York University School of Law, has made history as the first ever black person to be elected as president of the ACLU, that's the American Civil Liberties Union, since the organization was established back in 1920. Archer has been elected in a virtual meeting of the organization's 69-member board of directors. She will serve as chair of the board of directors, overseeing organizational matters and coordinating policies, and that's what's important, policies, aimed at racial equality and civil rights. So, if you want more information about this, to see her biography and all of that, go to is.gd, is.gd/ACLUPREZ, ACLU Prez, is.gd/ACLU Prez. All right? In our closing notes, did you know you can schedule a free call with me? Well, you can. Simply go to ifggo.pro, let's talk. That's ifggo.pro, let's talk. Select the time that works for you and let's talk. You can't beat the price because it's free. Have you subscribed yet? Subscribe for free and never miss out on any of our information. We have both video and audio. You can subscribe to our videocast on both YouTube and Facebook. Look for Christian Stimulus. You can also subscribe to our audio using your favorite podcast app. Simply search for I Feel God on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Tuned In, and iHeart. I didn't know what that was. All right, iHeart. So yeah, be sure to do that. Subscribe to our channels. Still in closing, I hope that you will spread the word and leave a rating and review for this Vcast podcast. Hopefully the episode has helped you lead like never before. That's my goal. If you appreciated it, could you share the love with me? Could you hit subscribe? Could you hit like? Could you hit all of them things? Give it a, pound that button. The best way to do it is to rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts and several of the other, whatever way you listen to podcasts. Give us a rating. Leave us a review. You can do the same on Stitcher, Tuned In. I'm not sure about iHeart, but most of the podcasts channels let you leave a review for the podcast. Please do that. It helps us. Your ratings and reviews help us place the podcast in front of more and more listeners. Your feedback also lets me know how I can better serve you. We always wanted to thank you, the Posse, for supporting our sponsors. This week, we're so grateful for these products that support us. Funnel Builder Storefront. We use GrooveFunnels. We've talked about it, ifggo.pro, and you can use the extension IMN. Screen capture, we use Camtasia. That's what I record most of what you see. I use Camtasia. YouTube keyword research, we use vidIQ. And you can go to christianstimulus.com. Well, all of that is in the show notes. I'm not going to say it, but we love for site flipping, 3 side hustles you can start this week. Join the money-making posse. Now, I want you to do that. Go to ifggo.pro/10best, and you'll be able to join the posse. Email management, we use ConvertKit. They've been good to us, and they'll be good to you. All right, well, that's our show for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you. We'll talk to you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. individually.